Purpose students and families. It's so good to be with you for just a few minutes. It's Monday morning, and I just wanted to share one big idea with you. You know, the morning after we had received that stay-at-home order, I happened to be reading in John 14, and God just reminded me of something that was so crucial and is so important in this time. And you know, sometimes when you're reading the Bible, maybe you get through a chapter. We've been really challenging you to spend 30 minutes of uninterrupted time with God every single day. And sometimes when you read a chapter, you're going, man, what's that about? Like, I just didn't get that. And we all have those moments. I have those moments too. And yet sometimes God's waiting to get you to that next chapter, because that next day he has something so specific for you. And I feel like that's what it was for me. And so in John chapter 14, the morning after the stay-at-home order, these are the first words I read from Jesus. He said this: "Do not let your hearts be troubled." Woo! What a good word for right now, right? I mean, it's as if he just knows exactly what we need. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Now, as I was reading that, I actually was a little bit offended by Jesus at first, because I said, are you kidding me? Like, you're telling me this is on me, whether my heart is troubled? Do you know what's going on outside? Do you see what's happening? I mean, our schools are shut down. Grocery stores are crazy right now. Can't get everything that we need. Things just feel different, right? We're kind of cooped up in our house. Maybe you're feeling agitated with a family member right now, and you're telling me that my heart being troubled is on me? And I think Jesus wants to say, yeah. I mean, how you choose to respond to the circumstances around you reveals where your source is. I mean, is your source in the things that you have, or in the God who has created you? I think Jesus wants to say, first and foremost, if your heart is troubled, you need to be honest about that. So if your heart's troubled, be honest about that. Don't pretend it's not happening. But number two, recognize that you can do something about it. That it's on you if your heart is troubled right now. Now, Jesus isn't denying that hard things aren't going on. He's just saying there's an option for you besides living in fear and by being troubled. And at the end of the chapter, Jesus says these words: "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." It's as if Jesus is saying, look, like this is what you need. Like this, and for me, the Pop-Tart, right? Like, this is what you need, Jesus is saying. You need my peace. And if you're sitting on the other end of this table and you don't got this stuff, you're troubled. And Jesus says, look, you can sit on that other side of the table and live in your trouble, live in your fear, live in your worry, or you could receive what I want to give you. And what I love is Jesus says, I'm just gonna leave this here, right? Like I'm just gonna leave this here for you. But then he says, I'm gonna give it to you again. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna give it to you again. He says, I don't give as the world gives, meaning I don't just give it to you and then sit back and see what you're going to do with it. No, I want to give you more and more and more peace. It's the big idea here. Jesus is the giver of peace, but he's also the sustainer of peace. And so the peace that Jesus wants to give you, he also wants to sustain in you. Yeah, I'm talking like in this season right now, whether you're a parent, you're worried about your job, or you're a student and you're not sure how senior year is going to pan out all of a sudden, or you're afraid if you guys are going to have enough food or clothes or toilet paper to use, right? Jesus wants to say, I want to give you my peace. I want to leave it with you, and I want to give it to you. You can rely on me. I want to give you a kind of peace that will sustain you through whatever adversity you face. Just think about that for a minute. No matter how hard today is, no matter what you're going through, there is a peace that is available to you that will not only calm your heart, will not only quiet the fears within you, but will give you a sustaining peace to continue to move forward. And so students, leaders, parents, do not let your heart be troubled, because Jesus is giving you and leaving his peace with you. All you have to do is say, Jesus, I need that. Jesus, would you please give me your peace, because my heart is troubled. All right, we love you guys. Have a wonderful day.